Hi there, this is Matt Edmonds from Mercer University School of Business. Thank you for joining, for clicking in or checking out this video today. Today we are joined by Gregory Ropar, one of our students. Very much for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me.
So talk a little bit about your undergraduate experience. Now, what was your degree in? Did you think about going and getting your MBA while you're doing that degree, or was that something that's came on a bit later on?
Yeah, absolutely. I started my undergrad experience at Oakwood University. Oakwood University has an applied mathematics and electrical engineering dual enrollment program where they partner with their sister school, University of Alabama in Huntsville, where that allows you to get an engineering degree of your choice there. So I finished at University of Alabama in Huntsville with my electrical engineering degree there. To answer your question about the MBA, I had no plans of getting my MBA. My father was an electrical engineer. He had an MBA as well. And I just thought, maybe, but it definitely was not on my radar at that time.
So coming through, you're in the workforce now. There are a lot of MBA options, a lot of MBA programs out there for you to choose from. So why did you choose Mercer University?
Yeah, so first of all, I wanted to stay local. I was not sold on leaving my company, at this time or at that time when I applied. I saw that, I wanted to have a future with the company. I actually work at Georgia Power. I said, I want to stay local. So I kind of started just looking at local schools. And I saw, I actually did some research in attrition rates. I did research, obviously, in tuition, wanted to make sure that the ROI was there. And I just kind of looked at values and things of that nature. And Mercer came out to be, the top contender for, where I want to get my MBA. Oh, and I also looked at where most or where a lot of the people who have MBAs in my company went to school. And there are a ton of people who went to Southern or went to Mercer who are part of the Southern company family at Georgia Power, Alabama Power, or have you. So that's exactly why I chose Mercer.
Oh, fantastic. So what has your experience been like within the program? How are some of the relationships that you've built during your program as well?
Right. Yeah. So I came in smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. In fact, I remember looking through my application and getting waived for, the GRE while standing in line to go and, at a fabric store to buy a mask. Do you remember those days? Back when you couldn't even find masks, that was just, a foreign thing. So I knew that going into the program was going to be a challenge. It was going to be a little bit different. I started off and, I'm a people person. I just really wanted to be in touch with people. And I was like, man, this pandemic thing is just so tough. The minute everything started to open up and I was able to come on campus and engage with students, I mean, it was just what I was promised, just, a great group of, colleagues and just teachers that are there to nurture you and to help you, succeed in your business endeavors. So it was definitely, or my experience has definitely been great. I feel like I really am in school, with the family. I finished negotiation class yesterday with Dr. Chapman, and I was telling all my colleagues, I was like, boy, this feels like, the last day of school before summer, like bittersweet, but like, man, I don't want to, I'm never gonna see my friends again. Like you didn't want to leave class. Very strange feeling there. So I'll have to say it was a great experience, or it has been a great experience so far.
Onto that, and I think you may have just answered this question as such. What has been your favorite part of the program? Maybe some of the highlights of the curriculum that has maybe impacted you as you move through the program. How has it impacted you professionally?
Yeah. So one of the things about the MBA, one of the unique things about the MBA is having a math degree and an electrical engineering degree. You can imagine how many analytical based classes that I had to sit through. And while that was great, while that's the core of kind of what I do, day in and day out, I wanted to take some courses where it was more just kind of, I don't want to say practical knowledge, but less of numbers, more of, real life, being in classes like, for instance, entrepreneurship, negotiation, ethical leadership, human capital management. Those courses really they were great to me. It allowed me to really just use my mind in a different way that, I wasn't able to use in my more analytical classes.
So, you were obviously working as you started your program. You talked a bit about that. You know, as how has this sort of helped? How has this impacted you able to utilize some of the things you've learned in the classroom into your day-to-day operations as an engineer?
Yeah, so every class that I take, I try to see how I can apply it to, you know, my day-to-day career. I'll say, although I said I enjoyed my non-analytical classes, my analytical classes in the MBA absolutely helped me in my role. So every day now, I kind of change the way that I do things. I kind of think, you know, my decisions are like, okay, how can I be a best steward of the company's money whenever I'm, you know, dealing with large projects. And at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, how can I be, um, you know, or represent my customers that I serve? You know, how can I be, you know, of value to them as well from a financial standpoint and support them? Because, you know, with Georgia Power, we also do serve, you know, people who are in, you know, underserved communities. How can I make sure that my services are going to be, in supportive of them as well?
So sort of coming to the end of this, and we appreciate everything that you've said. So what are you doing now? So to sort of describe your position and where you're at.
Yeah, so I am actually the title for my specific position is a distribution engineer. So our role is or our responsibility is that we serve, or better put, we design how electricity gets to our residential, industrial, and commercial customers. And we're also the front lines when power goes out. So you can imagine my days start, you know, with my phone buzzing, just customers trying to figure out, hey, when can I get power? How can I get power? At the same time, hey, my power is out. What's going on? Just kind of balancing, you know, those two acts at the same time. And also ensuring the safety of our linemen as they go out and do all these jobs. So that's my day in and day out, just making sure the lights stay on.
So wrapping up. So what, you know, you've gone through the program. You know, you talked about, you know, you got your app, the GMAT, the GRE waiver as you're standing in line getting your mask some time ago. What advice would you give to someone who was contemplating starting an MBA?
Yeah, just 2 words or 3 words: just do it. You know, the Nike slogan, just do it. There's nothing to lose in the MBA. Now, I will say, as you approach your MBA, try to make sure that everything you do, every class you take, every chapter you read, can be, you know, think of how you can apply that to your daily job. And if you're not in a current job, think of how you can apply it to your future jobs, or even look back at things that you have done. In my negotiation class, I just wrote a paper, you know, saying, wow, I was actually using all of the things that we learned. I didn't know there was a name for it, but back, you know, last year, I just, you know, I used this technique and didn't even know about it. And when you do that, it becomes more real. And it's not just reading a book, taking a test, scribbling in, you know, a multiple choice answer, and then just going about your day. You're actually applying it to your life and really making some value out of what you're learning.
Well, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate your insights. So again, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Again, thanks for having me.